Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Professional Darts Corporation, PDC Europe, welcome to this, the 2016 Pepperami Gibraltar Darts Trophy. It's the third event across the Euro Tour this year so far. 10 events across Europe, always blessed with world-class production from the internet streaming around the world. So people are watching us here in Gibraltar, you can guarantee that, and they're tuning in to see 48 players competing for, well, £115,000 prize pot here this weekend. And today is all about the qualifiers. We have 20 players from the UK, we have the 8 European qualifiers, and of course we have 4 local qualifiers from here in Gibraltar treading the Oki at some point today. We're looking forward to our first match. Each and every match here will be played over the best of 11 legs. Now for our walk-ons, do feel free to leave your seats and line up as we meet and greet the players. The players for our first match are making their way across to the walk-ons now. So 8 games for your entertainment this afternoon, 8 more this evening, and we're ready for our first match. So come on, ladies and gentlemen, be upstanding for our first players as they make their way to the Oki. The first gentleman we introduce was, of course, the 9-dart man here 3 years ago. And he's going to be back on the stage today. Welcome the man from England, smudger R.Smith. From England, a winner on the Pro Tour last year. It's Shaggy Joe Murnan.
Day one of the third leg of the 2016 European Tour, the Pepperami Gibraltar Darts Trophy, where 32 names are in the frame to end Michael van Gerwen's bid for total Euro domination. The world number one made it a perfect 10 European Tour titles with victory in Munich at Easter. A successful defence here would give him a hat-trick of successes for 2016. But of course, things have changed. We now live in a world where 5,000 to 1 shots can come good. So who knows? Maybe we could have an upset on the cards here. One of the men on stage knows a thing or two about upsets. R.Smith beat the 16-time world champion Phil Taylor to get here. His first appearance in Europe in over a year. Joe Murnan, too, has a bit of European pedigree behind him, and so too does the man alongside me in the sunshine on the rock this weekend, Dan Dawson.
Yes, another weekend on the European Tour, the third one of the year. And as you say, Michael van Gerwen has just smashed his way to the first 2 titles. He won the first 4 in 2015 before his dominance was finally brought to an end by Benito van der Pas.
Game on.
Can someone stop Michael van Gerwen? And can it be one of these 2 guys here? As Richard Ashdown, our very capable MC,
57.
enunciated at the start of this one, R.Smith is the last man to hit a 9-darter on the European Tour. 3 years ago on this very
100.
stage, he did it against Adrian Lewis. Could he repeat the feat this weekend? Joe Murnan, a man who won on the Pro Tour last year. Big, big win for Joe Murnan, that.
60.
If you like darts and you like pork products and you like plastic garden furniture, then this is the tournament for you, ladies and gentlemen.
97.
Pepperami Gibraltar Darts Trophy.
Yeah, you mentioned the 9-dart finishes. I mean, we've not seen one for such a long time, but certainly
58.
It's long overdue. Maybe Alan Norris could be the man this weekend. He's had a habit of it lately. I think he's had 3 since he came on tour.
85.
Mentioned Joey Murnan had some European pedigree. He was a quarter-finalist in the German Darts Championship in Hildesheim at the start of last year.
85.
Yeah, took some scalps along the way that weekend as well. We started off beating Michael Barnard, then he saw off Ian Wright and Brendan
97.
Dolan. That was, personally speaking, the first time that Joe Murnan really came to prominence for me. He'd been around before that, but that was the weekend where
96.
certainly was forced to sit up and take notice that this lad could play some serious darts. And of course, later on in the year, he went on to beat Dave Chisnell in the final of a Players' Championship event. That got him into the match play in the Worlds. And what about this from Joe Murnan? How about that for a finish to start off? 15 darter, 122 checkouts.
Second leg, Joe to throw first. Game on.
A break of throw as well. A couple of the treble 18s and a double 7. Very nice indeed for Shaggy.
Yeah, bang on cue. We were singing his praises, and that was very stylishly done as well. He's quite a resilient player as well. I remember seeing him at the World Championship in December. He beat Andy Hamilton 3-2 in a match that went to the
57.
fifth set, of course, and it was 6-4 in that deciding set. It was an epic tussle.
Yeah, it was a battle, that was. A real battle. And Andy Hamilton is a man who you don't want to get stuck into a battle with, because usually he comes out on the winning side. Less so of late, it has to be said. Now then, R.Smith.
140.
Just a ton 40, keeps him neck and neck with Murnan in this one as he looks to try and break back and level the scores. Winner of this one will face the number 10 seed Terry Jenkins.
100.
As always with the European Tour, it's the qualifiers in action on the first day. And whoever wins their opening match goes through to face one of the seeded players who just go straight
100.
through to the last 32 stage.
Yeah, Jenkins was the beaten finalist here last year.
60.
Losing to Michael Van Gerwen, one of the 4 events that Van Gerwen won at the outset of 2015. Could emulate that this year as well.
100.
May well improve on it too.
148.
148 for Murnan. Could happen. Not to be, so probably stay for the 140.
100.
Well, settle for a ton, leaves him a 2-darter. R.Smith wants treble 18. Well, misses the big number.
64.
Tidies it up very nicely and leaves himself tops, but Joe Murnan's going to get 2 darts to hold his throw here and go 2-0 up. Tops he wants. Down for double 10. And gets it. 15-dart break and an 18-dart hold, and that's very solid stuff from Joe Murnan to start this one off.
Yeah, R.Smith given plenty to think about.
80.
That win over Phil Taylor was backed up by a defeat by Phil Taylor in qualifying for the next event in Hamburg next weekend. Joey Murnan, by the way, qualified for that as well.
Yeah, he only lost to Phil Taylor in deciding leg in that second one as well, so he
100.
nearly did the double over the power.
Yeah.
What a day that would have been.
96.
European Tour, you have the UK qualifiers, then you've got 4 host nation qualifiers, so they go to Gibraltarian players, and then you've got the European
100.
qualifiers. So whereas most of our events on the European Tour are in Holland and Germany, and they're the host nation qualifiers, this one, all the Dutch and all the Germans have to go through that
140.
same European qualifying process. Now we do have German here in Max Hopp. He managed to battle his way through. Got a couple of Spaniards here as well. Antonio Alcinas making it through alongside Cristo Reyes, who's a regular on the European Tour. But it's not like the Dutch are having it all their own way.
No. It's a real melting pot when the Dutch and the Germans and the big boys of the European qualifying scene are thrown
60.
together in that way. And of course it opens it up. It's a good opportunity for the local players to perhaps get on the stage and see what they can do as well. And of course they have the incentive of the prize money too.
100.
It's,
125.
Certainly makes a difference for them.
Ooh, now R.Smith. Oh, it's too good. It is too good. He wanted ball 25 bull.
It's a shame he's not allowed to do that in any order.
It is. I mean, I just want to see if he'd hit it again, to be honest.
109.
Bust it.
Joe, you
Just
require
just for the sake of it.
Well, he sets it up nicely. Joe Murnan. 85 left. Needed treble 15 for tops and doesn't get it. So R.Smith to get a leg on the board.
Ross, you require 16.
Double 8.
Yeah, he could do with this, Ross-Smith. Can't afford to go 3-0
Charles in the
down.
third
and
leg. Ross
avoids that fate anyway by taking out the double at the
Joe,
first time of
row
asking.
first.
And a smattering of applause from the crowd here. It will get busier as the weekend draws closer tonight, and then of course the
140.
Yeah, it's fair to say that the Friday afternoon session on the European Tour is not always rammed.
140.
Even more so in Gibraltar. .140s traded at the start of this one. Joe Murnan follows up with a 135. R.Smith needing something big to apply some pressure on Murnan's throw. Already a breakdown from that opening leg.
57.
These two both from the same stable, if you like. You can see the Target Darts logo on Murnan's shirt there.
85.
And on R.Smith, that's the same manufacturer as Phil Taylor and Adrian Lewis.
96. So you require 141.
Now then, the 141. We saw Michael Van Gerwen miss double 12 last night in the Premier League to take this out for the 9-darter, and Joe Murnan misses double 12 inside. He will return with 3 clear darts at double 6, but R.Smith got to apply a bit of pressure here. Oh, it's a loose dart.
85. Joe, you require 12.
George Neville just had a good look at that one.
Game short and a
Just when
full
it looks as
flag.
though R.Smith might get a reprieve, Joe Murnan takes out the double 6 at the third time of asking, re-establishes his 2-leg lead here. Had a couple of highlights lately. Joe Murnan mentioned that run to the last 8 in Hildesheim. He also won a Players' Championship event in Crawley around about 12 months ago. He beat some big names on the way there, including Vincent van der Voort and Stephen Bunting and Dave Chisnell in the final itself after Chizzy had beaten MVG in the semis.
Yeah, didn't even have a tour card when he did that, so he was only there making up the numbers because other tour card holders had withdrawn. And then he went all the way and won it. Keegan Brown did the same thing in winning one. And this last week,
doing a Denmark.
well, it is, yeah. And then this last weekend, we've just seen two very, very talented players, but two players who wouldn't have been among the favourites to go and win it in Gerwyn Price and Josh Payne. Josh Payne, very exciting young talented player.
Yeah, we've seen bits and pieces of him in Europe as well. Not this weekend, though.
No, I believe it was here, actually, that I saw Josh Payne play against Dave Chisnell, and he was smashing. He hit something like 6 or 7 180s against Chizzy. Actually outscored Chisnell.
43.
43. Opportunity now for Murnan. If he were to get a breaker throw here, he'd have a real stranglehold on this game. That'll do for him. It's not down to a finish. Huge pressure on R.Smith now.
Yeah, needs to find a treble and does so. Another one would be nice.
123.
Knock the 3 off.
Knocks the 3 off instead.
Well, bearing in mind he hit 2 balls last time, I wouldn't be surprised if he goes bull for double top here, R.Smith. But Murnan,
Murnan
staying straight there. It may cost him a dart. It may just mean he gets a dart at the bullseye. We'll have to wait and see what happens.
Yeah, it could make a big, big difference, that. So bull for R.Smith. No problems before, but
57.
way off
So you require 91.
Now, which way does he go? Is it treble 17 for tops, or does he go for the bull? It is treble 17. He gets 2 darts for 4-1. And how about that, Joe Murnan? 1 sloppy dart at the end of the last visit, but 2 absolutely perfect darts there. And Murnan takes a 4-1 lead with a second break of throw. And it looks like Shaggy, the world number 43, well, it looks like he's going through to the second round and be the first man through to the last 32 of the Gibraltar Darts Trophy, where the number 10 seed Terry Jenkins awaits.
And the good thing for the winner of this, they'll get a full day's rest today. Enjoy the sunshine. Go for a stroll in the harbour, into the Old Town, up to the Rock to see the apes, do what they like, come back tomorrow fresh as a daisy.
That's, I mean, it's a very sort of cultured view you're taking to a weekend in Gibraltar, because I'd have just
thought they could practice.
Buying 600 fags and some cheap perfume would be on top of a lot of these lads' list.
I said they could do.
He's got that option.
Theoretically.
95.
We'll ask him later.
Job's not done just yet. R.Smith quite capable of turning this around, but he's got to improve on what he's thrown so far. And Joe Murnan's been very solid.
The
The demeanour of R.Smith, you could see the shake of the head. Knows he needed more than that against the Murnan throw.
38.
Yeah, well, that's a bit scruffy again. It's not the greatest setup from Joe Murnan, but then again he hit treble 17 to give him 2 darts at double top in the last leg. Hits treble 17 here, he gets 2 darts at double 16, and there's not a great deal of pressure from R.Smith. So can Murnan repeat the trick? Treble 17 he wants.
All he wants now. not to be, but
45.
you suspect
Roger
he will return,
56.
unless, well, he will return now.
Yeah, the question is whether... Oh, dear me, R.Smith, that's a horrible dart.
45. You
Oh,
require
not a happy
38.
man. Now, does he go straight at this? He looks like he is. That's the issue. Double 8 now.
22.
Wow. R.Smith, you can see him shaking his head. He knows this should be easier than he's left it. Treble 20. Needed that for double 16. It's not going to happen. And it's been a
99.
frustrating
So you
afternoon
require
for R.Smith
16.
so far. Joe Murnan to go within one leg of the second round. Work his way in from there. That's further away. But that is right where he wants it. Nears 5-1.
Seven Ross to throw first.
And a potentially tricky opening round tie for Joe Murnan is being made to look relatively simple at the minute.
Yeah, R.Smith is certainly capable of better than this. He's not really
140.
giving us an illustration of how good a player he can be on his day, as he proved against Phil Taylor almost twice in qualifying. But up on the stage today, he's not really got going. And Joe Murnan now is just one leg away from a 6-1 win and a place in the second round tomorrow to face Terry Jenkins.
100. $96.
96 keeps him right with R.Smith.
57.
Well, it's not the easiest place to get to in the world, Gibraltar, if you live in northwest England for these two. And R.Smith, there's been a lot of planning that goes into this weekend, and getting here early and getting on the practice board and trying to get yourself right for it. And unfortunately, nothing has gone right.
94.
And it might be coming to a very, very early end for R.Smith.
It's not the easiest place to get away from either as well. So, I mean, even after defeat here, if he does go on to lose, it's not as if he can make a quick getaway. Probably will have to hang around for a few hours at least if he does want to leave today.
That's a horrible looking dart as well. I know he's going for the treble 18 there, but it's not really that close. It's a good one to tidy things up, and he has left double 16, but Joe Murnan, 128, well, he's not going to go now. He took out 1-2-2 in the very first leg of this one. 1-2-8 is not going to go, so R.Smith to stay alive for at least another leg. Double 16. Gets it. R.Smith does stay alive, and there's still a chance. It'll be the small one.
Well, we've seen it time and time again in Europe, where players look to be completely out of things at 5-1 down. They claw one back and you suspect it might just be delaying the inevitable,
60.
but it actually turns out to be the springboard to an astonishing fight back. Smith still has the tough task of winning the next 4 legs against Joe Murnan, who has played well in patches today. The 1-2-2 check out, the 91 check out, 2 obvious highlights. But this is on the Murnan throat. Only started off with 60.
96.
It's another sub-100 score as well, so maybe, just maybe, a chance here for R.Smith if he can post a big score.
Well, they look like blockers to me. I would have thought he'd be better off going downstairs for the 19s, and in the end he has to settle for 60. That's better for Joe Murnan, though. Oh, he's gone into the treble 1, and that's a good last dart.
83.
Little pocket of tungsten one to launch that last dart into.
$60.
Yeah, a bit of a struggle for R.Smith. Murnan effectively stolen darts. That'll help. Can he find another?
92.
No, but 92 gets him down to a finish. Well, he needed that. It was his first big treble in 3 visits.
70.
Gets him to 149. The 170 is not going, but if Murnan can leave himself handily placed, he could get a match time. I'll have to
28.
Yeah, major.
149.
And it's certainly creeping into his game now. With the finishing line in sight as well, can Smith make the most of that slip up by Joe Murnan.
117.
Well, he has.
So you require 142.
That's left him double 16, so pressure on Joe Murnan here on the Murnan throw.
Oh my word, what a way to win this would be. What a finish
shot.
that is. Joe Murnan started this one off with a 122 checkout. He finishes it with a sublime 142 checkout. That's a beautiful 28. So Joe Murnan, the first man through to the second round of the Gibraltar Darts Trophy. A 6-2 victor over R.Smith. And Murnan will now go up against the 10th seed, Terry the Bull Jenkins. We've got 7 more first round games coming up in this afternoon session with 8 to come this evening. And next on stage, it's the bronzed Adonis, a former finalist here at the Gibraltar Darts Trophy, Steve Beaton, former Lakeside World Champion, taking on Michael Rastovitz.